We now have the birth certificates for 15 of the 16 Siders children that were removed from their family's home in Hamden, Ohio, now about 2 weeks ago. And these birth certificates show us that each of these children were born, in fact, in hospitals. So from 2008 to 2022, Elizabeth Siders gave birth to the children all at the same hospital, Holzer, in Gallipolis, Ohio. Then, if you remember, the twins that were born later in 2022, they were born over at Riverside Hospital. That's the set of twins that were born. They were born conjoined and they only lived for 1 hour. They died an hour after they were born. So until then, all of the children had been born at the same hospital. So after the set of twins passed away, she gave birth to 2 more sets of twins in 2024 and 2025 at Oblenis Hospital in Athens. So also on each of these birth certificates, it shows the address that the family listed as their home at the time. As we know from law enforcement, they said that the family moved around quite a bit, and that does reflect the addresses that they shared on these birth records as well. But from 2008 to 2020, they listed addresses in Gallia County, Ohio. Now that's around where the Holzer Gallipolis Hospital is as well. So 2008, they had a home address in Gallipolis. Then from 2009 to 2017, they lived at a home in Bidwell, also in Gallia County. Then 2019, we have a new address, also in Gallipolis. 2020, a different address that is in Cheshire, which is also in Gallia County. Then there's some questions about what happened in 2022. So they listed an address here for Bloomer, Wisconsin, but then 2 years later, the other set of twins was born, and they list that same address in Cheshire that they listed in 2020. So we're only showing these addresses because these are not the current addresses of this family. They don't live there anymore. And then 2025, another set of twins were born, and they list their home address as a home on Main Street in Hamden. Now that's just down the street from the home where these children were removed, but they were removed from a home on Omer Street. And this kind of brings forth some more questions because authorities had been saying that they believed that the children were living inside that Omer home for the last 4 years or so. But back in 2025, when the last children were born, they listed a different address. So in addition to these birth records, we also got some records back from the Gallia County Juvenile Court System that show that at one point these children were being tracked by a school district. So October 2021, the school district said that the children hadn't shown up for a single day of that school year, which would have been in session for several weeks at that point. And they tried to serve truancy notices to Elizabeth, Gary, and 6 of the oldest children. But when they went to serve those notices, they said that there was no one living at that home, so they couldn't find them. January 2022, there's a follow-up that said the matters were terminated because they could not locate their whereabouts. So what happened? Where did they go? According to the birth records in 2022, the family had listed an address in Bloomer, Wisconsin. So I called the property owner there, and he said that no one was living at that property in 2022. He said it had been vacant since 2017 and had been demolished around 2021, 2022. He also didn't recognize Elizabeth or Gary and said they would have known if there was a family at that time of about 14 that would have been living there. They would have known. So that's a question. Where did this address come from? Did the school district believe that the family was living in Wisconsin? The school district can't answer those questions because of privacy reasons, but it does appear that the family never re-enrolled the Siders children into school. When they were living in Hamden, we checked with the local Vinton County School District. They said there is no record of the children ever attending there. And we know that when they were moved, the law enforcement officials said that they were not in school. So a lot of questions from these birth and school records still. We are trying to get you answers. We will keep you updated as we learn more.